Hi and welcome. My name is Johnny Fergan. I'm from All Total Coaching. Today I'd like to bring to your attention two books that I read extensively, and it's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Suzanne Jeffries and the great Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Today I'd like to quote to you from this book a little bit, so you'll understand that fear and not taking action today is stopping your life, and you're delaying things, and the more you delay things, the more depressed and unsatisfied you're going to be. In Feel the Fear, she talks about majority of our fears are self-manifested in our mind, and the problem is with our mind, the more we feed them bad things, the more it creates more and more things. And the problem is, when majority of people watch mainstream media these days, they're fed so much BS, and it manifests the fear and it creates division. It's far easier to control people in fear than to create division in people that are satisfied and are happy. Majority of our fears, like I said, are manifested. And I highly recommend to read this book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, by Suzanne Jeffries. And I just want to read one page. If the people in his life would change, everything would change. If only his wife or husband would be more loving, if only his boss wasn't always whinging on him or complaining, and if only his son would stop taking drugs, he'd be fine. His continual complaint about his ex-husband or wife, he is making his life miserable. And that's what most depressed people do. They hang on to the past. I know many single or divorced people who are constantly complaining about their ex-husband and ex-wives, their bosses, their loneliness, their lousy single scenes, and so on. I know many married people who are constantly lamenting about their children, the lack of money, the lack of communication with their spouse, and so on. Are any of them really taking responsibility for their action and experience in life? Not at all. One of the reasons why most people are depressed, because they're not taking action and responsibility for their lives. They are all in the same way playing the role of the victim. And we mentioned this many times before. They have given their power to something or someone else. Keep in mind that when you give away your power, you move further and further to the left side of the plane power chart, and as a result you become paralyzed in your attempts to deal with fear. I highly recommend to read this book. It's mind-blowing. The next is The Power of Now of Eckhart Tolle. I'm just going to read one paragraph from page 145. Most people pursue physical pleasures of various forms, psychological gratification, because they believe that those things will make them happy. And I mentioned that a few videos back on the paradox of life. Those things will make them happy or free them from feeling fear of lack. Happiness may be perceived as a heightened sense of aliveness attained for physical pleasure, or more secure and more complete sense of self attained through some of these forms of psychological gratification. This is the search for salvation from a state of unsatisfactoriness or insufficiency. In other words, any satisfaction they may obtain is short-lived. That's what I mentioned in the paradox of life. So their condition of satisfaction or fulfillment is usually projected once again onto imaginary point away, from here, from there, and now. When I obtain this or that, I'll be free of that. Then I'll be okay. This is the unconscious mind set that creates the illusion of salvation into the future. That's why you have to have the power of now. And that's what he talks about, Eckhart Tolle, in this book. True salvation is fulfillment, peace. Life in all its fullest, it is to be who you are, to feel within you good that has no opposite. The joy of being that depends on nothing outside but itself. Itself must not be a passing experience, but as good abiding presence. Unbelievable, man. I really, really hope I inspired you to read this book. Because if you're going for depression or fear, these are the things that will change your life drastically. I highly recommend to read them. But at the same time, we constructed a whole program, what it is to be a man in today's society. And a lot of men are depressed today. And a lot of men commit suicide. This is not a laughing matter. I know 3 people that committed suicide. In this program that I called What It Is to Be a Man, What Your Dad Never Told You. We talk about manhood, what it is to be a man. We talk about women, relationships and relationship with other men. We talk about the media, how the media manipulates you and emasculates you. We talk about health, food, exercise. We talk about depression. We talk about money, how to save and where to invest. And last but not least, happiness and fulfillment. It's $89 that will change your life drastically. You've got nothing to lose. 30-day money back guarantee. I promise you, this is a stepping stone to your life ahead. If not, you'll waste thousands and thousands of dollars and you'll still be unhappy. You may have a Ferrari, but you'll still feel empty inside. And like the video I did a few months back on why you feel empty inside, go look it up. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Because if you're not on purpose and you're not on vision, you're just turning in circles, looking for certain satisfaction when the real terms you really don't like yourself. You know it's true and I know it's true. Thank you very much for listening. Look us up at www.alltotalcoaching or email us on john@sosdating.com. I can change your life. The question is, do you want to? Or you can keep doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 10 years, or watching Kim Kardashian thinking something's going to happen and somebody's going to save you, when we all know nothing's going to happen. Thank you very much for listening. As always, you know I am.